Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome to anyone that is new here, who's discovering me for the first time. Today's video is going to be a vintage haul video. So I've been collecting a few pieces, and I've just spent the morning ironing them all after washing them. So I thought before I sort them out and pack them away, I would share with you what I've got. So I've got some crochet doilies, some linens. I've got some sort of crockery and some Christmassy things. So let's dive right on in. So I'll start with this pile of lovely crochet doilies. Now I'm not going to remember where I sourced everything from, but generally I source them from local vintage shops and antique shops and thrift shops, either locally or whenever I'm traveling. So some pieces I found when I was in Orange. Other pieces are collected for me by my mum, and some pieces are from Facebook and Instagram sellers. So I won't mention where I got them from, but we'll just have a little look through all the different bits and pieces. So I've got some lovely little crochet doilies. This one's been painted. That's just a little offcut. And then some really lovely, love the colour of this one. This one's definitely going to my stash. And I definitely wouldn't cut that one up. I would probably even just use that one as it is because I love the colours. Got such a lovely retro vibe, that one. But they look really lovely together as well. This lovely delicate one here, this pretty little pink border, really quite dainty, that one. So that might actually be tatting, but that one's super pretty. And just a lovely plain white crochet doily, great for painting or just using as is. There's another one of those ones there. Got this lovely little blue star-shaped one, really pretty. This one's very lacy and delicate, pretty variegated purple one. These are always my favourite when I find these. I love these white with the blue crochet cotton. I've also got a yellow one. I love when I find them. Okay, so my mum just rang and interrupted my video. So then I picked up this one, really pretty, with this linen square and the crochet or tattered edging around it. These sweet little, what look to be like little purple tulips. So I quite like that one. Then I found this lovely big blue and white one. You could cut out the individual motifs on this, but I can almost see that becoming a cushion. Really funky little retro cushion, be kind of cool. And then I picked up this big piece, lovely lemony yellow and white. I think that one's really pretty as well. So those are my crochet bits and pieces. So next we'll have a look at the embroidered doilies. Okay, so I've got various sizes of doilies that I've collected. Got this lovely pretty little floral one. It's got a lovely little tattered edge. Another circular shape with pretty little purple flowers. I found two of these, this is just plain linen with a little crochet edge. They would make really lovely little quilt tags, so you could write or embroider a quilt's information and put that on the back of a quilt. But you could also just embroider any sort of saying on that and incorporate it into a project. Got a couple of different little tray table ones. This one has either not been finished or had some of the stitching come undone, but pretty little tulips. Another little floral, sort of circularly shaped one, and pretty. And this sweet little basket design. Lovely little pale colours on that one. This one is gorgeous, another little basket design with, what do you call these? I call them pinwheels, but the stitching is so fine. That stem stitch is super fine. And these little rose, beautiful tattered edge as well. So that one's quite delicate and pretty. And another little sandwich tray cloth. I feel like this might be representing a waratah and wattle. That's what it sort of looks like to me. And this sweet little strawberry one. Love strawberries. This one's really lovely. It's nice to see a square shape, which is quite different, but I love the flowers and the satin bow done in satin stitch in a variegated thread. And I love the little peachy pink crochet edge, and the stitching on this again is really, really beautiful. Love the colors of this one. That's probably going in my stash. This one is definitely going in my stash as well. This one is gorgeous, a little cottage with the clouds and the birds in the sky and the little cottage garden. I think that is just so sweet. Look at that. That's beautiful. And another little floral one. Lovely colors in this one. I love those pastel shades. Lovely crochet edge. This is just an offcut that I picked up, and these have all been washed. This one still has a bit of staining in it, but I intend to actually cut out all of this floral bit and include it in one of my fabric collages that I'm working on. So the actual part where the embroidery is not stained, it's this part up here. But lovely little cut work embroidered end of a doily. This one, when I bought it, as you can see, was quite damaged, so I've already cut it up into little bits. And obviously all these little bits can still be used, but I've cut the two ends off, which have, it was quite a long one, so the two ends have the big spray of flowers, and then there in the middle there were the two single spray of flowers. So I've cut all those pieces up, and I will keep some, and some can go into kits, slow stitch kits, and I'll keep these little weird off-cutty bits as well. So that one was quite damaged. So these are the bigger ones that I've picked up. So there's this lovely cross stitch one, really pretty rose design. Like that one. This lovely white work one, which has some white embroidered flowers on it, and I can't remember what you call this, but this lovely little border. That one's quite nice. And then these two larger embroidered doilies. These roses, beautiful stitching. Looks to be chain stitch done around and around and around. So chain stitch around, 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 and then again chain stitch. So what I really love about finding these embroidered doilies is actually seeing the different stitches and techniques that they used to create the flowers. So that's really quite beautiful. And then this one's lovely as well. This beautiful large doily, beautiful flower sprays. tulips on both sides. I think this spray is a little bit smaller than the other spray. That one's really lovely as well. So that's the embroidered doilies. So now we'll have a look at the applique napkins and placemats that I've picked up. Okay, so I've picked up a few different serviettes and sort of hand towels and placemat. So first it's just this simple little serviette, just a sweet little embroidered flower, and then one of these, what's this called? I should really learn about what all these things are called, shouldn't I? Whatever this is called, little serviette, just a plain white one. Then I got a set of these lovely applique serviettes and placemats. So I'll just see if I can separate them out. Yeah. So this is the placemat, and it's got the little bit here where it's not attached, so the serviette gets folded and put inside. So I've got a yellow one, lovely yellow. I've got two of these darker pink ones, and then I've got a paler pink as well. And then I've got the three serviettes, and this is the serviette that matches this one. It hasn't got the applique, it's got the embroidered flower on it. So they're all very lovely. I think I'm going to keep two for myself of the placemats, and the other two will go into the shop into slow stitch kits. So they're really beautiful. It's really hard to come by these applique ones now. They're always very popular. So I know I got those from a seller on Marketplace, and I felt very fortunate that I jumped on and I was the first one to comment sold on them. So these are some other, I think what these are intended for are like hand towels. So this one's just got lovely little white flowers with some appliqued leaves. Then this is a lovely little design. That one's really pretty. And then this very sweet blue one that looks really lovely as well. I can imagine these used as a whole piece with some beautiful fabric collage and some embroidered wording or something, and used as a wall hanging, because you've got all that lovely linen as well. So that's those pieces. Then I found in an antique shop these gorgeous napkins. It's very, I always call them napkins, serviettes. It's very fine linen, but it has the beautiful spray in the corner, and then a smaller flower, and then little embroidered flowers. So I think I've got a few of these. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 of those. So I'm definitely going to keep a few, and then I'll be able to make a few into some lovely packs, but they're very beautiful. And then last of all, I've bought this lovely one, just a plain, very simple embroidered, but I love the color. This very soft aqua minty color. It's just beautiful. I got this from the same lady as the placemats. So I think this might be a centerpiece. Maybe that goes with them. But it's got lovely sprays of the applique flowers. And then I also found this strawberry one. So I'll definitely be keeping that one because I'm always on the hunt for strawberry things. So I love strawberries. So that's that one. Okay, so then the next few things are just sort of, they're not random, but just a couple of different little things. So I have found this lovely little doll's dress in an antique shop. It's got this such fine linen. It's got this lovely little smocking section and these sweet little embroidered little rosebuds. It's got a tiny little button there and a press stud. And I just thought that was super pretty. And I can imagine just hanging that up on the wall. I just think that's so delicate and pretty. Little doll's dress. So I picked that up. From the same antique shop, I found this tapestry. And it does have a bit of staining on it, which you can see more on the back than on the front. So you can see there's all this pink kind of staining on it, and especially on the crochet. I am not sure if this originally was a cushion or not, but that's what I intend to use it for. So I'm going to take off this crochet edge and I'm going to turn that bit into a cushion, lovely tapestry cushion. So I thought that was really lovely. Then from an Instagram seller, I picked up some quilt pieces. So I don't think they're particularly vintage, but they've got that sort of florally vintage look that I really like. So I've got a couple of plain white pieces. These ones I intend to probably cut in half, and I think they would make lovely needle books, covers for needle books. So there's some white ones. I've got some smaller white pieces as well. These two lovely pale green ones. I can imagine them becoming the cover of a book. Same as these little squares. These will be made into pin cushions, or you could use two together to make a needle book. And then I got a couple of these different pieces as well. So I've got all of those. Again, you could use two of these and stitch them together with a bit of a binding, and that becomes a lovely outside to a book. So I thought they were really cool. So I got those. And then I picked up this lovely cross stitch tablecloth. And the linen is a very, very soft blue. It's almost hard to see. You can only really see it when it's folded over, the blue color of it. It's probably picking up better in the camera than it is in real life actually. But it is a lovely cross stitch design, square tablecloth. So it's got the center sort of medallion, and then it's got a cross stitch border that goes all the way around. Really beautiful. I think this is going to become a quilt. So this will be a piece where I embellish it further, probably with EPP. I find it really difficult to cut these up. Yeah, when there's so much work gone into them and they're so beautiful. And the colors of these are really lovely, a bit more faded. So I just can't almost bear myself to cut it up and sell it off in pieces. I feel like I'd rather honor it by making it into a quilt or a wall hanging by adding my own stitches to it through EPP, which obviously is what I love to do the most. And I got that, I think this table was about $30, which I thought was actually a bargain, because we all know how much these are going for these days. I thought that was a great price and beautiful work, so picked up that one. And then just a bit of fabric. So I picked up this piece of fabric at my local quilt guilds. They had their market day where people can set up a stall, and I just thought that was a really lovely piece of fabric with the tulips. I can imagine these thread painted. And then I found this in, I think, one of my local op shops, this lovely big bit of fabric. There's beautiful floral blooms on them. So I've got a decent sized piece of that. So I will use some of that for myself for thread painting and that sort of thing, and some will go in the shop. So I'll just show you a few crockery bits and pieces that I found recently. So I picked up this sweet little teacup from Dirty Jane's in orange. It is the Maytime one. So unfortunately it didn't have its plate with it. It was just the saucer. But I just loved that design. I thought that was so pretty. So I picked that up. And then the next few items I got from a shop sort of local to me in North Richmond called Raggedy Bits. And I picked up a few fun bits from there. So I got this lovely jug. I'm always looking for really lovely jugs that have a nice shape. This one is made in England. So they call this, do they call it stoneware or Carltonware? I don't know, whatever it is. But lovely shape to it. So I love these for vases for flowers. I don't really use them for, milk and their intended purposes. But that one was just really beautiful. Loved the shape. That was $10, which I thought was really good. Then I picked up, this is probably one of my favorite finds of the year. I've got a couple of favorite finds of the year, and this is definitely up there with them. And when I saw it, I was like, I am not leaving without that. So it is a teapot. It is a Brambly Hedge teapot. Look at it. I'll take that off so I don't drop it. Look at that. Isn't that the sweetest? The little mice sitting at the table. It's got the same design on both sides. The lovely flowers. Or flower on the spout. I love this really pale aquary mint colour that's on the handle. The handle is beautiful. There's only one tiny little chip in it. And then you've got the lid. So cute. So for those playing at home, it is Royal Doulton, so tea service from the Brambly Hedge gift collection. They found Mr. Apple in the kitchen drinking mint tea with Mrs. Crusty bread. So obviously this is not super vintage or anything, but it is super cute, super cottagecore. And I just loved it. So now I'm going to be on the hunt for the rest of the tea service range to add to my collection, because I have the teapot and now I want to know what else comes with it. So I got that, and then I picked up a couple of Christmassy things. I got this cute little, this is not vintage but it's handmade. I just got this cute little frame, little timber painted frame with this little Santa on some music paper. I just thought that was really cute. It was $4, a little handmade item. And I love to support makers, handmade people, makers. So I got that for our Christmas decorations this year. I also picked up this Frosty the Snowman Golden book. I just loved the colours of this. It does have some vandalism on it, but you can't really see it unless you're really looking. And yeah, Sandra wrote on her book, naughty girl. But yeah, I got that more as a decorating item, display prop. I just loved the colours. I thought that was super cute, and it was $4. And then I picked up, the flowers didn't come with it. That's what I've done for decorating. But I picked up this beautiful metal teapot in this gorgeous green colour. Look at that colour. That is just lovely. There's the lid. I've obviously taken that off. Look at that colour. Oh, this was $10 as well. It's got the black plastic handle. And I have put just some, I got these pink flowers. They're just from Kmart. I love my kitschy fake flowers. These ones I already had in another arrangement in my house. And I've just popped those flowers in the teapot, and this sits on my coffee table in our living room, which I have now decorated for Christmas. So I thought that was really beautiful. I might show you a little bit of footage of the house decorated for Christmas at the end of this video if you want to stick around. But that's all the pieces that I've picked up of late. I have got another batch of linens that arrived this week that are soaking, so I'm sure I will have another haul video for you soon. But until then, I will see you in the next video. Happy thrifting and stitching, friends. Bye. Okay, so this is our living room, and you can tell where I sit because I've got my trolley full of projects and notebooks and journals. So I spent Sunday dusting, cleaning, vacuuming and decorating this space. So this is where I sit here under the light, and so over here I've got one of my little EPP 1/4" hexie snowflake designs, and then in this little corner I've got my cute flamingo vase that's from the Reject Shop, and some faux flowers from Kmart, and my lamp. And this is where I've put my little Santa, and I've got a little bottle brush tree there. And I really should fix that, shouldn't I? So turn that around like that. Yeah, that's better. This is a sort of dried wreath thing that I made a couple of years ago now. And then I've got our lounge. The only thing that I've added here is this striped cushion, which I got from Kmart. And then up here I've got a faux leaf sort of swag, and I've added some aqua bluish sort of tinsel and these 3 poinsettias, and put up some lights. Then over here we've got our sort of like a book stack, and I've brought out our Christmas stories, so they're all on that shelf there. And then on top of our TV cupboard, which is from IKEA, we've had this for as long as we've lived together now, so it's very old and chippy. But up the top here, I decorate up the top. So I swapped out some things, and I really love how this has turned out. So I've got some lovely pink tinsel up here, and I've got not all Christmassy things, but they're all in the color palette that I went with this year. So I've got up there, I've got a strawberry jug that's from the Reject Shop with some dried white paper daisies in it. I've got a little coloured glass vase there. I've got a pale mint green bottle brush tree. I've got this lovely Christmas rocking horse that I got from Adair's a couple of years ago, I think. There's a little Santa pot, which I've put some more of those fake flowers in. I think that looks super cute. Another little cut glass vase. Some faux greenery in one of my stoneware bowls. This little cardboard light, I think that's IKEA a few years ago. My little strawberry cookie pot, that's from the Reject Shop. My big aqua owl and some more bottle brush trees, and then these flowers up here all year round. There's also some of the flowers that dangle down the side. This is an artwork that I found in my local thrift shop, and we've got my quilt ladder stack there, and just popped our fan in the front. And then on the coffee table, I picked up this striped table runner from Kmart, and that's where I've got, I think that basket is also from Kmart. It's like one of those plastic wicker ones, and I put the frosty book there, and I've just got a battery operated candle. So I'm really happy with how it came out actually. It looks really pretty and cozy. So this is our Christmas tree, and this is the only spot it can sit. Normally I have a desk here, that to be honest I don't actually use very often, so probably, I use it to store my projects on. That's what I really use it for. But it sits next to our dog pen, so that's where Indy sleeps at night. Unfortunately, we have to have that in the house. And this is a quick scan of my kitchen with tools on the end of the bench, and the kids were doing Christmas cards this morning, so it was looking spotless on Sunday, and now everyday life is creeping back in. Everything always gets dumped on my bench. It drives me absolutely insane. This is a little, what do you call that, evergreen plant that I got for Christmas this year. I'm going to put that in a terracotta pot because it looks a bit funny. But anyway, let's look at the Christmas tree because it is beautiful. So I've popped in a couple of those flowers. I was trying that out this year, and I think I really like that look. So I'd love to get some more flowers if I can get to Kmart. I've got some of the poppies in there. And then I love decorating the tree with these big poinsettias. So the pink ones I've had previous years, but I picked up these two blue ones this year. So the color scheme that I went for this year is pink and red, white, green and blue. But it's that specific type of green. So it's that tealy jade kind of green, and this sort of, what do you call that blue? Like, is it an ultramarine blue and a little bit of aqua? And then I've got, so all my decorations are in those sort of colors, but there's a few of my favorites. So I love this guy, and there's also a reindeer. He's around here. They're not vintage, they're just made to look vintage. Little vintage Santa, again made to look vintage. My cherry, I picked up this beaded cherry this year. That's a new one. And I also got a beaded heart. Where is that one? That's down here. Little beaded heart. And this was one that I picked up last year in the sales. And I've also got this one in the sales. I've got my watermelon, another strawberry, cherries, and a little rainbow one. But yeah, so I love doing the tree, and it's very difficult for me because the kids love to help. They're at the age where, you know, they want to help decorate the tree. And I let them help me, and then I tend to go around behind them and just rejig where they've put things. For the most part, you know, they're pretty good, and I don't have to like change too much. But and then I always do the fancy decorations first, and then I fill in all the gaps with all the baubles. That's how I tend to do the tree. So on my shelf behind, I've got a couple of bottle brush trees, and I've got my strawberry teapot and a little starlight, and a little jug of greenery. So that's the tree this year. and it looks really pretty. And on our little table here, I've just got a little poinsettia there as well. So this is our little foyer area, which I haven't overly decorated. I've just got a couple little pieces dotted about, some little trees and a gnome, a reindeer. Some of these pieces used to be my mum's. Little merry and bright, some tinsel there. And then over here we've got a lovely houseplant that my neighbour grew and gave to us. And I've got my little joy, a little tinsel tree, and some flowers, and got Merry Christmas and some more tinsel. And I've got some bunting up the stairs as well. Okay, so I thought I would quickly show you my little home shop space. It is all decorated now for Christmas. Haven't gone overboard, just a couple little touches here and there. So over on the shelves, as you can see, I've put up some pretty pink tinsel, and I hung up this super sweet Hexie Christmas tree and star rainbow garland, which I just finished making. And you can find how to make the stars in the Star Ornaments collection pattern, and the Hexie trees are part of my Hexie tree ornament pattern. So they're both available in my online shop and my Etsy shops as PDF patterns. And I've got this little sign up here which I found, so it's looking really festive and pretty. And then I just popped this little piece that I made a while ago now, a little 1/4" Hexie Christmas tree. And then over here on my ironing board, I've just got a little tree there sitting in a little white metal watering can. I use that watering can in my stall displays. And I've moved my sweet little strawberry pot over there. And then over here, I've hung up a couple of my, they're not Christmas related, but I've hung up some of my EPP hoops here now, just to decorate a little bit. And it's all looking very lovely. I hung up this cute little bunting that I made with some 3/8" Hexie flowers. And then I've got my little white Christmas tree. So normally I used to put this in my studio, but I've put it here because I'd have to move it too much when I'm doing photos and things. So I put it in this galvanized bucket, and that's my little Christmas tree. And then over here, I haven't got the lamp on, but I strung up another Hexie Christmas tree garland. And I've got this cute little Frosty the Snowman, so it turns on and it sings the song. A couple little trees there, and then I've got 2 nutcrackers here, and I've got these 2 cute little ornaments here. They were my mum's, and I've just popped a couple of the only true vintage baubles that I own. I never hang them on the tray, I always put them in a bowl for display. So I've popped them in my textile bowls. So that's it. I haven't really decorated my studio space. I've sort of focused my decorating in here instead. I think because my studio space is always so messy at the moment, I'm always working on things, whether they're videos or content. You can see down there, I was filming a reel. I've always got projects everywhere. So I decided that I wouldn't really decorate down here this year. So I've decorated up here instead. So yeah, it's looking very lovely. So in my studio space, and it is a little bit messy, so this is a real life video. See, my table is full of bits at the moment, but I haven't decorated too much. Like I said, I've got some beads up there, and I put a little bit of tinsel, you can see that up on those shelves, and a little bit of blue tinsel up here. And I haven't turned my lights on, and I've just got a little tinsel Christmas tree next to my cottage, and that's about it.